Right then, hello there ladies and gentlemen. Here we are once more. So, as we continue as Army Group Center, this should be mightily interesting. Now, I have just loaded into the game, so I'm not entirely sure what has occurred in the meantime. But I'm sure things have gone well enough. That's all we can pray for, is to have things going well enough. Okay. So yep, just getting things set up on my side, just make sure I can see everything. Seems good, seems pretty good. Okay. Right, here we go. So of course, in the previous turn, we did obviously set up this pocket here. Well, the turn before this one, of course, we did have this pocket set up. Hello there, Diligent Gravy. How you doing, my friend? Okay, the amount of fuel that has reached them over here isn't too particularly exciting. Yeah, if we take a look at fuel, 73%, 99% is definitely the best here. 99, 96, 95, 96, 94, 86. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's try and take a closer look then. Can we actually see what has arrived at these headquarters? We'll take a look at the supply details. Right. Ish. Yeah, not good. Not good. Okay. So, from what I can understand here, I do have the manual. Do I have the manual here? I've got the one for Warren Pacific. Warren these will be around here somewhere. I'll have to look this up later on. Whether this is the number that we had previously or in total, and this is the number we received. Though we can see here that we received 2 tons of fuel, potentially 2 tons of fuel. I believe 2 tons of fuel. From Suwalaki. But that's rather interesting. Where did you source your supply from? Yeah, we've only just kicked off about 3 minutes ago, so only legitimately just getting going. Suwalaki. Let's see. That is a good question where Suwalaki is. I am pretty sure it's a settlement of some nature, though I can't see it as of now. Well, we'll let that one slide just for the moment. Hello there, Norbert, how you doing there? As well as you, Stefan, and yes, Steve. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're looking at there, is not much fuel has arrived there. I'm not particularly happy about this vehicle pool. I think we need to be very conservative here. If we take a look at losses, so since the last turn. Now we did catch an additional 822 vehicles. 462 have arrived, 197 have been withdrawn. 8 have been spent. We have lost quite a few here. Lost in combat. This is why we need the rail yards. This is why we need that. Okay, good. Yes, I speak with Cucumber. Cucumber had accidentally moved this unit up, so fair enough. You'll get that movement. Right, we do have our unit over here. Of course, Agrippa Maxentis will be doing that. Seems Agrippa is in for a rough time down here. Though the Soviets are so very much spread out here. I feel about the Soviets entrenching the marsh is completely pointless in my opinion. I think it's definitely going to come down to Army Group Center having to flank around here. Now we do have our own arduous task in front of us here, and that is to break through to Smolensk. Along with Cucumber. Cucumber will be attempted to break through to Pskov. Though the defenses here to Pskov are very weak at the moment. Hopefully we can take advantage of that in time. Though that is going to be something that is not a guarantee. Nowhere near a guarantee. Okay, so let's take a look at what has been cut off. These forces have only just been cut off, so they're not obviously out. Okay, so Agrippa has cut these forces off. That's good enough then. That's good. He does have these Romanian forces to move then. But these forces are cut off some supplies, so that's fair. At least then they can be destroyed. Okay. Yeah, they do need reorganization. I think they're happy to let me use the administration points. Use them as needed, I suppose. The second army is ready to go. Yeah, okay. What we'll do is we'll give, obviously, second army over to AGS. I think an additional army would definitely help him out considerably. As far as it comes for infantry, I'm very much trying to work with what I've got. We do have, well, we did have the most powerful army group. We have trimmed some of the fat, so we do need to be careful. Okay. Our construction brigades are on their jobs. Yes, construction battalions. They are getting to work, which is nice to see. Does this command have any additional construction? You do have additional self-propelled flak, but nothing huge. Okay. Isolated command there. We may have a good chance at killing that actual headquarters and its commander. So we have here the 3rd Army, 4th Rifle Corps, 6th and 5th Cavalry and Rifle Corps respective, as well as the 11th Mechanized Command. These forces over here, I'd really wish I didn't have to deal with, so that's not too bad. These forces here will be starved out in time. Now, of course, they will have a great deal of supplies here, but eventually they will be starved out, and I'm happy with that. I'm not going to waste my resources to take this. These 2 divisions here can stay here, but assigned to Army Group Center. Frankly, it's a waste of 2 divisions, but I should have gone for this and really respected the Soviets. I honestly underestimated Litovsk. Well, Litovsk. Litovsk? Litovsk. I was going to say Litovsk. Litovsk. Either or. There's one of those. Now, we do have fuel, of course, to actually move up. We do have over 100 offensive power here. Our power is definitely not matching that of the Soviets and impossible. But we can make it through. I need to figure out what we've actually received here. I want to figure out more information. Right. Okay. So you seem to have received 63% of your fuel here, as far as I can tell. Yeah. Most of your supply, almost 95% of your supply. Okay. Army Group Center. Ideally, I'd like to see that army group only. But that's fine, we'll work things from here. Okay, that works fine for me. Hello there, Westpool. Nice to see you in stream. It's not a issue of stock, it's really an issue of actually getting it to the front here. So this seems to be received, this seems to be consumed. Potentially. Okay. They are receiving fuel, but not a huge amount. 12th Panzer received the most there. Now that's very interesting. I wonder if that was due to their need being greater. These units are set to refit. Let's see, can I see what has actually arrived in unit? There's Panzer? Surely not. Yeah, that's what we've been thinking here. We have paused around Minsk for some time. The issue is the Soviets will continue to dig in. But if we burn fuel, I don't think burn it. I could potentially try here. But I think what we want to do then is obviously wait for the infantry to buggy on up. If we take a look at the actual situation on the ground here, I'll just bring up my drawing tool. So, let's see. Now, of course, our objective is obviously in this direction towards Mogilev. We do need to breach Mogilev to actually reach Smolensk. I mean, the thing is, I'm just going to the map here. Okay. So let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, this is impossible difficulty. It's going to be extremely difficult, and we are going to probably lose here, if not definitely lose. But in my opinion, I much prefer that rather than fighting a campaign and just rolling over them. I'd rather have the challenge. Okay. So if we take a look at the actual terrain here. Yeah, we can still run. They're very difficult, of course. They're much tougher than they would be on normal difficulty, but once they're surrounded, they will fall all the same. So what we need to take a look at then is obviously the terrain here. We do have the land bridge towards Moscow, so Moscow would be in this direction. But we are not going to make it to Moscow. The reason I'm saying that is it's completely unrealistic that I'll be able to reach it on impossible difficulty. Completely unrealistic. Now, Smolensk is going to be my point of drop-off. This is where we head at. This is where our final objective will be for Army Group Center in 1941. There's simply not much else I can do on this sort of difficulty. I don't want to be overestimating the Army Group's capabilities and being then crashed by a winter offensive. We have some time yet before we have to start establishing our defensive positions. Now, hopefully the Soviets will be good enough to establish them for us, which is going to be very nice. Should these positions remain, then we can just obviously take them. The issue is obviously, well, obviously the rivers like the Dnieper will freeze over. At the moment, they're posing a fine obstacle to us rather than to the enemy. Now, Mogilev would be very nice. This obviously would present a keystone upon the river, same as Vitebsk. What I'm thinking here is we have the triangle of defense, really. Yeah, if you get past the Dnieper River, I would call that a success. We will get past it. Don't worry, we will get past it. I mean, this is where I'd like to really establish a defensive line. I mean, the thing is, Smolensk is very far out of there. It will be assaulted, and it will be assaulted extremely hard in the winter. You count as light, right, light urban. City. Okay, so this one presents by far the best defensive position. We have some decent terrain here to help us out. We will have the woods, we will have swamp. I don't know how that's affected by winter. I think it's still terrible, though then again it may become just like normal ground in winter. But the forest will always remain quite effective. We do have a number of towns here on the river line. At least we have something to actually dig in, something to actually shelter our troops. Somewhere for our supplies to actually pull, which is very, very important. I mean, man, I can't wait until we have one of these two where can I really get into the logistics. I'm going to just scream myself every time we do that. Can't wait. The thing is, as far as it goes, I think we'll stick to just obviously building up here. I think that's going to be the wisest idea, to be honest. Allow the infantry to catch up, allow the rail lines to catch up. I mean, frankly, there's no There's nothing to be gained by burning this fuel. I can't go that far. I'd be better off doing some kind of HQ build-up, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save us administration points, and we're going to use that to assign the second army to Army Group South, which I'm going to do now before we actually forget about that, and before we do other things. So 14 points, not too bad then. So we'll have you assigned to Army Group South. Now, that's burnt a lot there. The issue is I'd like to have these armies be assigned to Army Group, well, to, yes, Army Group Antonescu. The reason being we need to actually lighten the demand on Army Group South, which is very, very high right now. As you can see here, 67. Massive. Very big problem. Okay, 11th Army needs to be reassigned, so we'll have to do that in the following turn. We need to save those points. But at least Army Group South will benefit from multiple new divisions. These reinforcements divisions will be sent towards Army Group South as well. As to where they're to be sent, I'll send them to 2nd Army, so at least then we can have the corps worked out. How many corps commanders do I have here? 1. Just the 1. I do have the Slovakian army, the Slovakian corps. Right, we do have you, you're on assigned, that's superb. We can actually have you reassigned to 2nd Army. So I'm going to move this over to 2nd Army. There we go, we'll have you assigned. Okay, that's going to work out great. So we have here base for, well, 4 divisions. So I'll send a good up 4 additional divisions for now. Goddamn diligent. Goddamn, man. Thanks again for the streams, really appreciate them as I've started playing these games. Oh, thanks, man. That's really awesome, you know, I really like that. I was made aware by a YouTuber called Marauder PL. I do recommend him, he's very good at playing War and Peace as well. Not that I am, but he's a good player. He has informed me that there's something of a multiplayer play-by-email game that's going to be going on the forums. So I've messaged, well, I've actually commented on there, seeing if I could actually join the Soviet side, so that could be kind of interesting. Would be nice just to actually record parts of that play-by-email game if the guys hosting that do allow me to join. Hello there, Judy. Yes, indeed. Though, this is going to be far harder, considering the fact that we're on impossible difficulty here. And of course we are sharing command with Lord Cucumber and a good pair Maxentius. So we're just trying to do the best that we can. Army Group Centre's progress is going well enough, Army Group North is doing well enough, Army Group South has yet to make the rest of their moves, but well enough. I mean, just look at this, the Soviets are pulling back here, and on this difficulty, they entrench themselves so fast, it's unbelievable. But at the end of the day, that's not bad for Agrippa. At least he'll have solid fallback positions practically all over the Ukraine. So in some ways, I envy that. Oh, are you in the play-by-email? Assuming that you're saying please do. I mean, it would be nice to play as the Soviets. I've never actually done that. Hello, Vanny Wowzer. I bet you're thinking, my god, I can actually watch something. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game of the next turn. I will be away from Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday. So ideally, try and get some time in before I go away. Yeah, that's true. It does change morale. It changes morale, let's see. We'll double check anyway, but I'm not talking out my arse, am I? Morale, yeah, morale's quite important. Fort level, logistics level. The logistics level is arguably even more important than morale. Well, then again, yeah. I'd say logistics makes or breaks this game. Well. Excuse me. Yes, who gets Stalingrad? I don't think we'll make it to Stalingrad in 4-1. We may not ever make it to Stalingrad, but we'll see. At least it's going to be a hell of a fight. Okay, so we still have 25 administration points remaining. I've assigned additional division over there. So we'll give it over, so 1 more. Oh, right, okay, that's awesome. That's really cool, man. No, I'll see if I can join that. I take it the Pacific, well, one of the Pacific play-by-email articles, I'm not to read that, am I? Yeah, I can imagine I'm not to read that, which is fine. I don't mind. Okay, let's just check this then. How are you overburdened already? I suppose that's down to the commander, isn't it? Okay. To be fair, I could go through the commanders of the other armies and try to reassign superior commanders. Yeah, that's very, very true. Okay, second army is good to go, but we do need to reassign this actual commander. Not terrible, just not particularly great. Rather expensive. I do. I just like to annoy you. We have a static division over here as well as a security division. Not down? Yeah, that's very true. It's rather interesting that even with only 4 divisions. That's what's making me wonder here. Is that down to potentially the commander of the second army? Then again, his administration's not too bad. I'm just finding it interesting that 4 divisions can be attached here. Assuming that 4 divisions are directly attached. Seems that way. Okay. That's not too bad then. I'm sure that'll be manageable at the time. I know it does increase in the future. At least I'm fairly sure it does increase in the future. I'm used to playing in different eras now. Okay. We'll take a look at the commanders of these different corps. Erich von Manstein. I imagine is going to be very competent. The only thing commanders affect is the respective combat strength, support, reinforcements, and logistics delivering early. Yeah, rallying's always a very good thing to have. Right. I know I keep saying right as if I'm going to do something, I'm just thinking about what we want to do. Indeed, thank you for the super chat. Interesting. Okay, so we have an additional 2 divisions here. There are other static divisions I could activate. Usually we do have another airfield here, but that seems unmovable at this moment in time. Well, let's take a look at what comes then, what's going to be arriving. So additional divisions as well as additional corps. So we can form the second army into a very formidable one then, which would be good. What we'll have to do then is save administration points so that the 11th army down here can be assigned to Army Group Antonescu. Relieve some of the pressure upon Army Group South. To be fair, I've not actually played the Operational Art of War 4. I've not tried that actually. Really not. So I couldn't really comment on that one, to be fair. Yeah, that's true. But we could possibly do that then. I have been considering reassigning the Commander of Army Group Center. Now, let's go over here then. So, Army Group Center. Oh, right, there we go. I was not looking at it. Fyodor von Bock is okay, but he's not the best. So, it would be expensive to have him replaced. But if we take a look then, so... yeah. 5 isn't great, 7's okay. The morale isn't great. Political, thank God, is not too politically motivated. But we'll see if we have somebody better. It's like, for example, you take a look at Kesselring. He's bloody brilliant as a staff officer. Bloody brilliant. I could have Heinz Guderian. That'd be a hell of a promotion to Army Group Center Commander. Okay. What do you guys reckon then? Should we have Kesselring as our commander? Cluj, I've not looked at Cluj. Oh yes, actually Cluj is, okay. 9988, 4711. Yeah, though his armor command is very poor. Yeah, logistical commanders at the top. I suppose that's a good point, isn't it? At the end of the day, he's not going to have actual armoured units under his direct command, so it doesn't particularly matter, isn't it? So 9988. But then again, that's 9997. But that's administration, which is arguably quite important, as opposed to initiative. Yeah, that's understandable then. Okay. We'll take Gunfar Vunkluge. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. We'll take Gunfar Vunkluge. Indeed. What a fine looking lion. Indeed. 22 victories. We'll see how many victories you can attain now. Ideally, that may help our actual logistical situation here. We'll take a look at reassigning the commanders of the other armies as well, trying to help out that way. Okay. Indeed. Right, so how do we want to approach this? I, of course, do have the... Is this the 7th Division here? I suppose 7th Division will be tasked with mop-up. I would rather have these other forces moving on up here. But of course, we do need to stop them reaching the Soviet supply lines. But they're going to be quite emaciated by now, aren't they? But we'll start over here then. I could have the security deal with that, but it seems like a bit of a waste just to deal with headquarters. I might as well keep them moving. I know enough to get by. As I said, I'm not amazing at this game. Nowhere near. There's definitely people out there who are much better than me. And this is why I rely on your advice. Retreat, I'd imagine? Yeah, retreat. Yeah, see, this is the thing. It's like I will be looking towards having a lot of support units really concentrated in a certain cause. I'd rather have them concentrated for the actual task at hand rather than spread out. That's definitely how I'd like to play. You, of course, don't have any more in you. We could attack the divisions here. Well, we do have 40. I could move an additional division here, give us an actual decent chance of potentially taking them out. Now, see, the issue is, even our units here at the front, obviously, they don't use particularly much fuel. They do receive some fuel. I'd imagine that maybe... Right, they're not equipped with support. I'd imagine they still have a small fuel need. I suppose that could be really down to their vehicle usage. They do have 271 vehicles. So they do have their needed amount of vehicles. How is that table of equipment looking at the moment? Yeah, I'm not particularly happy about the losses here. I mean, obviously they're not too bad. We're roughly at, what, 92%? But I'm not happy that we've lost quite a few of these heavy infantry guns. Not particularly happy about that. Now, of course, we will start using captured equipment from October, I do believe. That's true. That's true, sorry. Okay, we only have enough for a hasty attack. I do have a planned attack in you here. I'd much rather begin with a planned attack. There always a much better chance. Right, 18. I'd much rather attack here then. Yes, that's true. And they hold. Now, rather than wasting these soldiers' lives, I'm not going to do that. We have what we need here, which is the rail line. We'll continue to allow them to be starved to death. I could just use some of the forces from the cores over here just to make sure they don't advance any further. They'll die. It's just a matter of time, really. Well, if you have them attached to the cores, basically how it works is, if they're within 3 hexes of their, well, their actual divisions, the support units do have a good chance. I think it's a chance, but they do have a chance, obviously, to aid those divisions in combat. If you have them attached directly to the divisions, they always aid in combat. As they suppress entire divisions and make them worth it. 30% combat strength. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there we go. Initiative roll distance from the command. See, that's the benefit of having your units directly attached, your support units directly attached, I should say. It is, and it isn't. It's one of those things of where, of course, you could have them assigned directly to the division, But the thing is, only that division then benefits from it, rather than the entire Corps at large. So it's kinda... War in the Re. I like that. Yeah, there you go, as Black Star says that. It's one of those of where, yes, you do gain that benefit to that division, but only that division. Okay, that's not too bad. 25 men. I'd much rather have 25 men injured and 13 killed, rather than 25 dead. So, played by ear. Okay, so we might be able to use these units here. You're attached to this headquarters. Now, the unit is only able to move up to this area here, so that's not too bad. I can cover this. We'll continue to move the rails up, though. That's the most important task that we have here. I mean, frankly, this is the only thing I cared about in this area. If I could go ahead without destroying these Soviet forces, I definitely would do. We're only doing it because they're in our way. Simply nothing else to say for it. We will have this headquarters unit move back towards the railhead. Frankly, the more supplying these units, the better. Now, we are making some decent progress over here. I don't know why they would actually do that line. That seems incredibly pointless. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Battalion musical chairs. It's one of those things of it's as well as you got to imagine, it's like you're attaching these units to a division directly. That's going to cost you at least 1 to 2 administration points, potentially more if there's other units that potentially cost more. So the thing is, it's like you only have so many administration points. It's like, for example, we've used all of ours now very, very quickly, and there's so much else that I wish I could use them for. So you've got to play a cost versus effectiveness, like of using your administration points. So, for example, let's say we could assign all the support units out, but hey, I need to actually change command of a division, or I need to attach a corps to a new army, or attach an army to a new command. It's like, then we have this struggle here. Also, side note, if you want to see how the battle happens, you can use the 7 key to get full info. Yeah, that's very true. It's like you have different levels of support. Well, sorry, different levels of information. I do tend to stick to one while streaming. It's one of those things that really does speed things up considerably. But it's something I bear in mind, and I always appreciate advice. Right. Brilliant. Okay, so you should do very well for the supply here, being practically on top, well, literally on top of the railhead here. But even here is fine enough. They'll be good. Right. Now, I have these 2 calls over here that aren't actually holding on to any units at the moment. Regan. I could put these divisions at the command of one of these corps over here, which is possibly not a bad idea. At least then they'd have the corps command. Okay. We'll consider that. It does depend on the actual cost. Let's see. We'll take... Right, you do have these pioneers attached, as well as road construction. It might not even be a bad idea to potentially just use a corps headquarters just to be in charge of the actual rail construction battalions. It wouldn't be too terribly bad. I do kind of support that idea to a certain extent. Right, pioneer road construction. Okay. We'll have them assigned here. I do have plenty of support here, but obviously that's nowhere near enough. I'd very much like to have more. We'll move our airfields off of the rail lines to actually allow the workers to continue their work, of course. Hello there, Sam. How you doing, my friend? Though, of course, we do need to move our air assets further forward. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's like I could attack the city, but frankly, I've no desire to. We tried that, and we saw what damage it did to us, so I'm not going to do that. I'm happy to starve them. The thing is, it's not the most optimal rail path here, but in some ways, I suppose. I mean, obviously, it's 25 hexes, I believe, from the rail, so I suppose this is going to be more middle ground. In some ways, it's about as effective as you can imagine. I would have obviously liked to have gone this way, would have made my moves a lot more cost-effective here with fuel. We might have got even further than we did on the first turn. But we endure, really. That's the thing. You've just got to make the best of it. go from there and just, yeah, see what we can manage. Okay. I'm doing my usual thing when I do a lot of talking and not much action. Okay. Right, there's your headquarters. Lovely. Move you here. Rico in its entirety. Ah. Oh dear. See. 1 second. Ah, where's my good music? I do have these songs here, but if I play these songs, they're copyrighted. So it's a shame, really, because I really do like some of these. I love the Stalingrad theme, and some of these are really, really, like, cheery. It's a shame. It's one of those of, like, do I want the 10 or do I want what might be potentially a lifetime's worth of advertising revenue? Oh dear. It's a good song, it's a good song. The Germans had some very good songs, but I would definitely say that the Russians definitely had the best music. They knew how to do their stuff. Okay, these divisions here are only moving just to cover this advance, so 2 divisions here, the rest can move further forward. Then again, frankly, you know what, that's an actual waste of time, isn't it? You're there, you're there. Okay. I can't particularly move them. I'd imagine it's copyrighted, or not approved for, well, advertisements. You'd be incredibly shocked at how fickle YouTube is like that. It's a pain in the arse. Move you up there for the moment. Have you there? I don't want to make it any more difficult than it already is to move vehicles across the river. Well, supplies across the river. I could move you on top of that brigade, but brigade's not going to obviously be destroyed. Not got the greatest... Well, actually, no, I say that. It's got 42 defense there. That's pretty impressive. Hello there, Paul. How you doing, my friend? I hope the mods actually worked out for you. As well as a drawing tool. Right, well, you're fairly close to the rail lines here. And this is the issue, obviously, I would like to have the rail lines on this side. But as I've said here, we're making progress. It's a shame that we're only making 2, but then again, they did have to cross the river here, which does take some of their movement away. So we'll continue along this line. I mean, let's see. It's one of those of how much is it going to cost here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18. Actually, that's the more efficient route then. That's good to know. Okay. I do have some combat potential in these units, but I'm not going to use it. It's a complete waste of time. Right. Move the rest of these forces up then. So your core, yeah, your core is definitely out there in front. I'll have you move up as much as possible then. Okay. We need to have these units reassigned. We do have 5 administration points remaining to us, which is nice. But we need to have this infantry division reassigned to this actual core. It can't keep up with the actual panzers here. And again, considering that they're going to be staying here for another term, it probably could. But after that, yeah, definitely not. Okay, let's make sure we move up. I think we'll stop around this area here. Could move further forward though. I think we'll move further forward actually. When it comes to the infantry, we do need to get them moving. We'll do that. We can stay near the towns though and on the rail. Okay. I'm really going to be paying a lot more attention to the depot equipment as well as their supplies. Like for example, fuel allocations as well is not really getting through here. Right. In fairness, what I want to do is actually take all the construction battalions from potentially frontline corps and have them sent to the rear. Go within Liver. That's good. Ideally, we want our divisions to receive all their supply from the core, but if we position them near the towns here, at least then they have a source of secondary supply. I mean, there's only 14 tons of supply here, which is frankly nowhere near enough. But if we take a look then, let's see. Comic Games, that's a name I've not really heard of. But I suppose I might have actually seen them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's a shame, we've lost our siege mortars. I was really hoping that we could hold on to those bad boys. We may potentially receive them in the future, but we'll not count on it. Okay, we go with volunteers. Well, quote-unquote volunteers. I want to see how the supply situation is going. Okay, so it's not a massive shortfall. There's definitely plenty of fuel available. This is the thing, we're not going to run out of that. It's just getting it to the units on the front line, that's the issue. Yeah, just look at that Soviet morale. That's pretty damn high. The Italians are so bad, as well as the Romanians. You can still work with them, though. It's not too bad. Don't worry about that, mate. I know you're not me. Okay, it's nice to see that we do have vehicles being repaired in Romania, but that is a tiny number. I'm not a big fan of these vehicle losses. I mean, we really need to try and play smart when it comes to the actual vehicles. Frankly, if we lose too many, we lose the game. Then there's nothing I can do about that. There's no way to arrest that shortfall. Okay. Well, the thing is, I suppose the way to look at it is we're not going to run out of it because we're not going to actually survive that long. That's probably the way to look at it. Okay, we'll have 2nd Panzer move over here. Decent amount of construction battalions. Let's take a look at these forward force and make sure they don't have... Yeah, like for example the road construction here. That would definitely be better served back at Corps Command. Well, headquarters. So we'll have you sent back to Army Group Center. It's a shame because this is used in valuable bloody administration points. But I'd rather have these assets used properly. I'm hogging all the command points here. I'm so sorry to the other guys. I'm so sorry. They're not going to be happy with me. Yeah, the war will be over by Christmas. Of 1946. Oh dear. Okay, seems you still have some movement. So we do have this core. Yeah, that core can move up. That's lovely. Okay. Do I want to push them past Minsk for the time being? We do have over 1,000 tons of supply in Minsk. We also have over 3,000 tons of supply in Minsk. Hello there, Agrippa. Right, Agrippa, while you're here... That's really good timing, actually. While you're here, I've assigned you 2nd Army. So 2nd Army is now under the command of Army Group South. So you have an additional 8 divisions as well as 2 corps available to you. Should you need it, I do have an additional corps that could be sent to you. But that's should you need it. I've had to use a lot of administration points for that. I've also changed the commander of Army Group Center. So we now have General Field Marshal Gunther von Kluge, which is actually quite an effective commander. He's obviously not much of a frontline commander. He's about roughly average, but his staff skills are incredibly good. So hopefully that will definitely serve us. Okay. So yes, your Romanian forces are actually active now. What we need to do is actually try and save our administration points so we can have the German 11th Army transferred to Army Group Antonescu. As if we take a look, your Army Group South is suffering extremely heavily due to the command point penalty. That's what we need to do. We'll have them reassigned. For example, Army Group Center is suffering here, but that's fine. I can make do with that. I'll try and figure it out in the future as we go. But yes, we're just making our moves here. We've just moved a few units. Okay. Berlin will be there, Stalingrad. Definitely. Yeah, so as I was saying, do we want to move past Minsk? I don't think we want to move too far past Minsk, because I don't think there's really much to be gained by that. I think we might as well move... saying that. What do you find people reckon? Do we move beyond Minsk? I'm not too particularly eager for that due to the stretch in the supply lines. I think I'd rather stay actually outside of Minsk, because at least we do have a source of supply there. It is obviously going to be closer to the actual rail line as well, which is quite important. So for example, if we take a look at the divisions here, well obviously we'll take a look at the 20th Motorized for a example. Take a look at the supply details. So range to rail is about 18 MP. So this is the thing, it's like, if I move into this area here, I'm not gaining anything. We capture a few towns that are worth F-all, but yeah, we move further away from supply. So I'll have them move outside of Minsk, and I'll leave them there for the time being. Okay. At least they'll have a source of supply to take from. Hello there, Troll and Smoke. How you doing, my friend? Definitely good to see you, though, Agrippa. Nice to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Right, superb. And I do, of course, have this division here. Right, I could use the 1st Cavalry. See, 1st Cavalry has some pretty damn good movement. Pretty impressive movement, actually. You could probably take the rail line north of the Hell Swamp. This adds more to the repair and the downtime. More stuff to the repair and downtime, that's true. Oh, are we talking about in the pocket here, or we're talking about beyond the pocket? Indeed. Yeah. See, I'm using Restream here, so I can see some of these things. Where is it? That's strange. I must have missed it. I definitely must have missed that one. It does show up as Twitch though, so it's pretty cool. I like Restream. Just the issue is it doesn't show Super Chat, so it's not perfect. Okay. Slightly south of... Oh, right, I see, just beyond here. That's not a bad idea, to be honest. We do have 1, 2, 3 towns here that we could actually take, well, control of. A couple 100 tons. I mean, we'll lose the vast majority of it in the towns. But having additional supply is not a bad thing to have. See, that's an interesting... See, I'm just thinking here, for example. Let's take a look at this. What we're thinking of doing now is, obviously, the rail line is going to go, I don't know, possibly something like this. What I'm thinking here is, for example, rather than going towards Minsk, do we instead head this way? The reason I'm thinking that is because we'll have the other rail line probably head down to Minsk anyway. What I'm thinking is, are we actually going to be able to make further progress more rapidly this way? We'll see, actually. Might be worthwhile. I just think at least we have a coverage a little bit further down. We'll see about that. What does AGC mean? Ah, Army Group Center, that's what it means. Are you just trying to do one of the East even better than it went last time? Oh, we're just playing here. How it works is we have Lord Cucumber as Army Group North. I'm playing Army Group Center. And then we have Agrippa Maxentius as Army Group South here. Wait, did I say Army Group? Yeah, Army Group South. So we all have the command of an army group. And we'll try and work things out roughly. It's going to be rather interesting. Don't question, how do I highlight your name in red for the response? I think you can just type like @ and then it'll come up with like a list of names. Right, let's see here. @ Yeah, like that. You can type that in like that. There you go. Yes, versus the AI. We might look at towards playing a human opponent in the future, but I think impossible difficulty would be too much. Probably normal would be sufficient enough. Okay. I'm still somewhat tempted to do away with that motorized division, but then again, I could just use that infantry division and that to do it quite nicely. Right, so we'll take control of these towns then. I was about to say, there might be something said for that, but basically that'd be suicidal. There'd be nothing to gain there. Okay, so we'll march down here. I do love how the cavalry make the noise of mechanized, armored. I mean, they do have 12... Yes, they do have 12 AFVs, but I'd much rather expect to hear cavalry. But they do very well, they're very good. Okay. And then I'll have them wheel back over here to the north. There we go, that's a nice bit of territory that we've just taken there. At least we have command of these towns now, so that's nice, as well as this town over here to the north. So that's additional supplies that we can draw upon, so 24 tons there. 37. He's also denying the Soviet Union further manpower. Quite an important aspect. It doesn't seem like it now, but eventually it will become something quite important. Like, for example, if we take a look at captured. So in terms of manpower, only 247 at the moment. But that will add up pretty rapidly. Surprisingly so. German cavalry is represented by vehicles. Interesting. Ah, indeed. Okay. So if we take a look at what we've captured. Okay. It's more the anti-tank guns I'm interested in. We do have only a couple 76s. We do have some 45s. They're not terribly bad. The artillery pieces are very nice. Of course, these armoured fighting vehicles are going to be great to have. These KV-2s would be very nice. Having some heavy armour. I can't believe you don't drink. Oh dear. See, the thing is, I'm going out to the weekend and I have to be social, and I'm really not a social drinker like that. I just can't be bothered with it. I mean, this is the thing. It's like, I used to be a pub manager for 2 years. So it's one of those things. It's like, you're around it every day. It's your business. It's just, completely put me off. Okay, so we'll use our division here then to deal with this. But I will have well, I need to move the actual core commands first of all. Would be a worst case scenario having them abandoned by the infantry only to then be displaced. We'll have you moved here. Move across the river. Melt all that down, build millions of Pack 40s. I like it. Radical. Right. Hello there, Koza. How you doing, my friend? How's Austria treating you? Okay, you need to be reassigned. It's a shame that obviously you can't advance any further, but we'll use our administration point here. You're still able to supply these units, that's fine. As long as they're within range, that's all we need. Okay, these guys actually done fairly well, they've dug in. Which is nice, at least that'll be a potential defensive point in the future. We'll use the security force over here then to displace these headquarters. Ideally, we do end up killing some enemy commanders as well. That'd be very, very nice. Rodno remains out of our command. Well, out of our control, I should say. We'll advance forward with the airfield, so this should be a very safe area. Yeah, I'd much rather have Junker 52s. You know, the ones that really should not have been sent to creep. Okay. Is it possible to assign the additional support yet? Obviously they won't be available until the following turn. Currently deployed and took a while to get internet. That's good, man. I hope you're treating you well. I suppose at the end of the day it's going to be a live experience. That is going to set you up. It's like it will open up a lot of doors for you in the future. Okay. Reform the division. Yeah, I'm not fond of the rivers. I really, really dislike attacking across the river. It's always a bad situation. I'm going to actually move around here. I mean, that'll keep them busy, so there's no threat. Not that a threat anyway, but I'd rather not have to deal with them. Yeah, again, take a look at that. The zone of controls and obviously moving. They're too tough to deal with, so I'll leave them as they are. This corps only constitutes about 3 divisions here, so that's not too bad. Yeah, 88's a big guns. I'm reluctant to attack across the river here, but their defensive value isn't too high. They'll probably retreat or hold. Okay, they hold. The other Titan. Yeah, not worth another attack. I'm not happy about those losses, but we'll have to do. I'll make do. For the security division, I can move up. Potentially so, anyway. We'll see how we move our units here. See, this is why I'm very much looking forward to one of these two. It's like, we may have the opportunity to actually really take direct command of the actual production system. I'd be very interested to see what would happen if we actually concentrated on just Panzer IV and Sod guns, or even just entirely on on the Sod guns. That'd be incredibly interesting. I'd imagine it'd be rather intriguing trying to increase that production. And again, there's a lot to be said for having a bloody turret on their tank, isn't there? So I think Panzer IVs, and of course like Stugs, like Sod guns in general. Okay, so how do we want to move our infantry here? If we take a look at the actual terrain, what do we actually gain here? There's a lot of awful, awful ground. Terrible, terrible ground here. Let's just do a little bit of evaluation. I mean, first of all, we have the river here, the River Divina. And we have, of course, the Dnieper. So, the only things that are worth anything are like these here. But frankly, that's nowhere near enough to make it even worthwhile moving into this area. It's trash. Absolute trash. Why would I want to do that? The thing that we need to do is obviously have them continuing down here past Minsk and up through the land bridge. I mean, whether we go through the land bridge over here on our way towards Moscow, which we'll never actually reach, or obviously we move down here past Mogilev. Due to the fact that they're going to be quite far behind the panzers and the other additional infantry, I'd say we'd probably have them go towards Smolensk, while the other forces wheel round here and flank at Mogilev. Break through here, have them continue to push towards the south of Smolensk, use our reinforcements, obviously beat them over here, add additional pressure, try and unhinge them. Okay. Yeah, send my tanks into that swamp. Finish the job. Indeed. Yeah, save them the trouble. Oh dear. Okay. I'm not going to be advancing too fast. I'll use this unit to actually deal with this, push it back, and then we'll move out here just outside by Minsk. Bloody hell, are you serious? But again, the defensive value is quite high, isn't it, at 18? That's bloody amazing. I'm not going to bother, it's a waste of time. Okay, we'll move up then. Ugh. That's annoying. Yeah, they were occupying a rough position here, so obviously that's quite hilly. But that's fine, we can move on. Actually, keep you in your actual cause. That's interesting. See, by doing this, I'm really leaving. I'm really leaving Cucumber to fend for himself to a degree. Hello there, Combat Corgi. It's nice to see you in stream. I don't think I've seen you before, actually. Yeah. An 88 on the Panzer IV. This is the thing, isn't it? It's like, is it worthwhile having your tanks be very well armoured? Because at the end of the day, it's like, let's take a look at the Tigers, for example. Very large. I mean, obviously very effective. They could be very effective. But the thing is, such as the... What do they call them now? The light... Well, not light. What are they called now? The, they named... They mounted a 128mm gun, or was it the 125mm gun? 128. Called now? They were basically on... I think they were on a... Was it a Panzer IV? It's actually... Chassis. Call them now. But they were very, very lightly armoured. Basically nothing. But they had a massive gun. Obviously they were very effective at killing tanks. Obviously they weren't very effective at sustaining fire. But the thing is like, you really don't want to be in a position where you sustain fire anyway. That's pretty interesting there, Corgi. Welcome aboard, my friend. Yeah. No, not the Young Tigers. Ah, God, what were they called now? Let me see if I can find them. I'm sure you guys will know them. Let's see. They were big, big things. Wow, they had a big gun on them. Ah, dear. I can't seem to find them now. No, it was different to a, well, different to a Marder. God, I can't remember the bloody name of them now. Oh, this is going to bug me. I'm not entirely sure if they would actually use in combat. That's the thing. Or whether they were just like a prototype vehicle. Bug me now. It might have been a prototype. It really might have been. I'll do my best. I'll do my best to try and find it now. It's going to bother me otherwise. Yeah, this is bothering me now. Okay, I'm gonna get back on the stream because I'm like not doing what I should be doing. If only there was a way to research something quickly online. Yeah, I know, right? It looked like a Panzer IV hull. Yeah, it's this, I can't remember the name of the tank destroyer. It had something like a 128mm gun or a 125mm gun. It had a big gun. It was basically extremely lightly armoured. Oh, God, it's going to bother me now. It really is going to bother me now. It might be just like a prototype vehicle. I'm sure I've seen it in games like War Thunder though, so of course that isn't very, like, historically accurate. I think probably like a prototype vehicle. I'll try and find it. I've seen it on War Thunder, so at least that'll give me something to go by. And again, they do BS a lot, so it's one of those, isn't it? Take it as you go. Right. See. Ah, okay. Right, so this is what I'm thinking of. Now, of course, I don't know if they were actually in production or actually used. But this is what I was thinking of. Obviously, this is like a Waffenträger. Whether it's actually real or not, that's the thing. Yes, the Sturner Millers and the Dickermax were definitely used. Whether this was real or not, I'm not entirely sure. But this is what I was thinking of, actually. If you guys have some information about that, I'm sure you guys will be able to figure that one out. Okay, let's continue to move these divisions up, because I've completely meandered off the task as per usual. Okay, move those headquarters. Yeah, prototypes. Okay, I thought it was something about that. Like, I was thinking, I'm sure they weren't used or... Yeah. Ah, right, okay. So very, very late war, basically, prototype. Yeah, that's what I'd imagine. I think there are pictures of them, but it's one of those things where I don't believe they ever saw service. I don't think they were around long enough to see service. That was what was in my head for a while. Yeah. So I do want to go and see the mouse, actually. It's a Kubinka Tank Museum in Moscow. I did have a chance to go to it, but I ended up missing a bloody train. So that was a big shame. I'd love to see it in person, though. As well as the Karl siege mortars. They look amazing. But there's a hell of a lot of equipment and vehicles. Very rare vehicles. Out of the Kubinka Tank Museum as well. Okay, I might have the... Yeah, I'm going to have this motorized brigade actually pushed over to another command here. Have them move with the panzers. Would make a lot more sense rather than use them along with the infantry. Do you become a motorized division? No? Okay. Not for some time. Yeah, I know, right? They're not very reliable. Oh dear. Okay, so we have the vast majority of our forces concentrated here. So I've been doing a lot of waffling. Now, of course, this is going to mean that Lord Cucumber is going to be much relying upon his own army group over here. But if we take a look at the actual Soviet line, it's obviously digging in. But this is... You can break through this. It's a biatch trying to get across the river, though. That's the issue. Because Piskov's on the other side of the river. It's a bit of a pain in the arse. Of course, you've also got to try and catch the rail lines. I'm sure Cucumber can manage that. But we will be punching through the Smolensk defensive line here with the Might of Army Group Center. And then we'll turn our panzers to the south and run towards Gmel. Ideally, we could catch the Soviets off guard and south here. Yeah, you're making a sure point outside of Minsk. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're basically forming up our forces here. It's like we did use the cavalry to take the towns here just to capture some more territory. which is going to be nice. At least it gives us some additional movement in the following turn. As far as it comes, though, when it goes here, yeah, the Soviets are also getting 2 armies a turn. God, tell me about it. Oh, dear. Yes, if we go over here, for example, you get details about the vehicles when you click on them. Let's see here. We'll click on a... I'm looking at a... Right, Panzer 4C. Yeah, reliability there, 25. Not great, is it? Oh dear. Yeah, the faster you go, the less they reinforce. That's very true. Right, we'll move up. Ooh, that's the core command, not the army command. Not that it matters really moving up the army command, I just want to move it up so I can move those airfields up. Okay. This isn't a bad idea either, actually, having a another command further at the rear. At least then they can start using their construction battalions and labour groups. So what we may do then is have these other divisions reassigned to other commands and have that core really used for that purpose. You only have to kick in the door, said XTRG Company. Oh god, no. It's like, I know where we're going to end up. I know how far we're going to get. This is it. That's very interesting. Okay, move the airfield up. We do have our airfields over here, so I can move them just outside of Vilnius. But there's not particularly much need to do so. Not really. To keep them near the rail lines, keep their supplies. You intend to turn south before taking some landscape to take Mogilev. Well, what we're thinking here is, we'll take a look at this and take a look at the train here. Okay. Choose a black. So, our advance is more than likely going to be aimed in this direction. The reason for that is due to the fact that the land bridge here is extremely well defended. The Soviet AI, I imagine, is going to be seeing this as a big potential weakness. So the vast majority of units are probably going to be in this area. They of course have Vitebsk as well as multiple towns, one here, as well as multiple towns here. Which, I mean, this one on the front line does give them some strategic, well, some actual, tactical defensive values there. But they have like a good solid defensive line here, which is based on, obviously, urban centres. But if we take a look over here, the terrain isn't great. It really isn't. The issue is I'm going to have to cross a river no matter what. But what I can do here is I can try to break over here where the defences are rather weaker. Wheel myself around towards Gorky. From here it's going to be rather interesting, as what we'll have to do then is use the infantry to push along the Dnieper River, try to get around the defensive line, but have the panzers keep on moving. We just really need to outpace the infantry. But after some lengths, what we'll be doing then is having the panzers head south to try and take the Soviets in the south by surprise. If we take a look at this with units on, then we'll get a better idea of the actual picture here. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. So these divisions are obviously going to be digging in. They have like a secondary line being dug here already. So this is going to be extremely difficult to break through. Not to mention the forest here doesn't really support that. There is obviously bodies of water. I'm not entirely sure if they'll contribute to defensive values. But it's not great. At least over here by Mogilev, we do have clear and open terrain. There is a river to consider, of course, but at least we can actually bypass that once we break the Soviet front line. The terrain on the other side is clear as well, which is really nice. Really, really, really nice. Give me a nice chance to get through. I think what we'll be doing then with the panzers in the following turn is, let's see. I think we'll try to push towards this way. Probably not as far south, But what we'll try to do then is break them here. They only have a few units. They of course move in extra reinforcements here. And it may be a different situation by the second, well, by the next turn here. But we do have the fuel capability to move there and punch through. I think what we'll have here then is have the Panzers break open that line, which is going to unhinge the Soviet defensive line. The thing is, if we actually do flank the Soviets in the south here, I'd imagine they'll probably pull back these forces here. It may be that with the following armies, we may be able to potentially advance over here, put the pressure on. That really does depend. I'm not going to be taking any further reinforcements from any of them that come towards, well, from the rest of the Reich. We are going to do this with what we have our army group sent, so it's more than enough for this task. It just is going to require quite a lot of determination to break through. I mean, ideally, the Soviet forces unhinge themselves, displace themselves from these defensive positions here, which is great because that means I can at least take them without having to fight for them. Yeah, I really like David Glantz. I've got a couple of his books, he's really quite good. Okay. That's going to be how we have to do this. Now, there's not terribly much for us to do now, considering that we've moved up our units. Yeah. We've done our administration work over here. We'll move our FBD. Gotta forget about that. There it is. Right. Yeah, attack where they least expect you to. We do have an easier time of converting this rail over here in the north. Do a Manstein. At least by moving up this way towards Vilnius, at least that is going to help Army Group North as well as me. But we should make good progress towards Minsk. I think we'll have this line. We'll have this line run towards Minsk rather than the other one. Seems they'll reach Minsk before. Nice. Okay, so their movement is done there, but you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's actually really nice. The reason for that is a box here. Right, here we go. Might not be that box, but it's like in this area the rail lines are easier to convert than they are towards the south, which is always very handy. At least I'm sure about that. I'm sure that's why I remember. This is the thing, I've not played that much of War in the East for some time. I'm definitely more familiar with War in the Pacific by now. I told you to go through the source of your heaviest tanks foolproof plans. Yeah, definitely. Some Confederate officers quote, "Get there fastest with the mostest." Yeah, pretty much. Okay. But then that, we've pretty much done all we can do. I'm going to make sure that we don't have any other construction battalions that we can assign. Otherwise I'd be rather irritated if I'd missed that. Take a look at the Panzers. Yeah, like these howitzer battalions are wasted here. As well as these. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Back you go. Okay. Really trying to make sure that we haven't missed anything. No, it seems so good. Okay, then. So not much progress. I know we've been waffling, well, I've been waffling on for some time now. But we do have the vast majority of our forces here of Army Group Centre concentrated. Of course, we do have the rest of the forces of the 4th Army to move up here. But we do have 2 panzer groups, well, basically a panzer group. We have 9th Army, elements of 4th Army. Then obviously the infantry attachments to the panzers. We should be able to make it through here. Yeah, we should be able to make it through here without much issue. Now, how this is going to affect the greater plan would be rather intriguing. If we make our breakthrough here, and we do establish a position in Smolensk, I can imagine the Soviets will probably... I'd imagine this line will stay roughly static. And they'll probably start to head like this. That's what I envision. I'd imagine that the position here is going to give itself up. Now, Army Group North is going to continue its push towards Pskov. I personally do believe that Narva is too far, and that this is too far not worth the effort of taking. We do have, is it Talendin over here to the north, which is quite nice. It's an additional port, but in my opinion it's not worth the fuel to get there at this moment. Now, the Reds aren't going to stay here. I do feel like the Red Army will probably push back, or fall back towards Kiev. The thing is, the Russians have a lot of ground that they can give. They're not really going to lose much. Yeah, well, see, that's going to be the interesting thing. Do they abandon the land bridge? I'm ideally counting on them giving up the land bridge due to the fact it's going to obviously be a hell of a lot easier for me to push. I mean, what I'm thinking here really is we have something of a 1-2 punch. We'll break through here. Have our forces wheel round towards the Dnieper River, I do believe it is called, towards the north. Then have the following army towards the center. I know it's a really bad arrow, I'm really bad at drawing arrows. This is how I sort of envision things. I want to try and unhinge this part of the line. Really displace it. In best case scenarios where I could just go like that, but obviously that's out of the realms of possibilities. But we'll have to see. The issue comes down to this awful, awful terrain. If the terrain wasn't as bad as this, it would make things certainly more possible. Like, for example, if we had terrain like, well, Ukraine over here, then yeah, things would be definitely more possible. But the terrain here is very heavily forested, as well as there's lots of swamps. It's not great. Yeah. We'll see. The AI does do silly things, so it's one of those things. But yes, this is pretty much our turn. Not a huge amount done here. Obviously, a lot of waffling and moving just a little bit further. But in the following turn, we can definitely begin our operation here. Yeah, push towards the Dnieper. I mean, I'm so very glad they're taking these defensive positions. At the end of the day, if these actually last, this is going to be superb for myself and Cucumber. They are trying to establish positions down here. They'll have some level 1 positions, but that's not too terribly difficult to break through. I've just got to actually make a concentrated push. But yes, should we actually be able to take control of these defensive positions, that would be quite nice, actually. From Pskov all the way down to Mogilev would be a nice defensive line. I think when it comes to it, where will we establish our defensive lines? I think... I mean, I'd even say Smolensk is probably too far. I mean, it's a difficult thing. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that's right. Okay, but other than that, I think we're good to go here for the following turn, so I bid you all adieu. I hope you have a great day or evening. I will be gone probably well, definitely Friday. Probably Saturday as well, maybe back either Saturday or Sunday. So I'm going to try and upload some things to go out while I'm away, so I hope you guys have a great time. But, indeed, goodbye for now. Have a great one, whatever you are, whatever you're doing. Until next time.